On today's episode of Budget Deck Tech, we're taking a look at the Huatli Dinosaur Knight Planeswalker deck. Our goal is to see how we can improve this deck, but here's the catch. We only have $10 that we can spend on cards that we add to this deck, and we can only add cards from the current block. So the deck starts out half decent. It is a red-white dinosaur deck, but there's a few things I want to fix here. Firstly, the dinosaurs. They didn't seem to include a lot of the really cool dinosaurs from this block, so I want to definitely improve that. And secondly, like most Planeswalker decks, there just doesn't seem to be enough removal in here. So we're going to address those as we rebuild this deck. So let's give ourselves $10 and get started. We're going to leave all 4 copies of Stone Quarry in the deck, as well as 10 mountains and 9 plains. Also staying in the deck is Huatli, as well as both copies of Sunblessed Mount, so that we can make sure to bring that Planeswalker to our hand if we need to really quickly. One of the superstars of our new deck is going to be Bellowing Ixalan. So I'll admit it's a little bit pricey at 6 mana, but whenever he is dealt damage, you get to put a permanent +1/+1 counter on all of your other creatures. So this card costs 25 cents, and we're going to add 4 of these to our deck. Dual Shot is a great way for us to deal damage to our Ixalan when we want to. It's an instant, plus it's super cheap to cast. These cards go for 15 cents a piece, and we're going to add 4 of them to our new deck. Next up is Needletooth Raptor. This is a great little guy for amplifying damage, so every time he is dealt damage, he lets you deal 5 damage to one of your opponent's creatures. So these guys go for a quarter a piece, and we're going to add 4 of him to our deck. Next up is Shake the Foundations. This is another instant that we're going to use to deal damage to our own creatures when we want to, just to set off their abilities. So this card is 25 cents, and we're going to add 4 copies to our deck. And to finish off our little combo, we've got Silverclad Ferocidons. So this is a decent sized dinosaur, 8/5, and whenever he is dealt damage, your opponent has to sacrifice a permanent. So we're going to add a playset of these to the deck at $2. We will need some flying in this deck, and I think Sky Terror is one of the best flying dinosaurs out there. 2 mana for a 2/2 with flying and menace. Not a bad deal, 25 cents, we're adding 4 of these to the deck. Conjali's Collar is one of the only non-dinosaur creatures we're putting in the deck. It's a 0/3 for 1 mana, so she makes a really good early game blocker. Additionally, she reduces the cost of all dinosaurs to cast. So the deck currently comes with 2 of these. We're going to add 2 more at 25 cents a piece. Then we're adding a copy of Demystify to get rid of enchantments, and Shatter to get rid of artifacts. These cards go for 15 cents each. Next up we've got Mutiny. So this is a super cheap spell, and it's a really great way to get rid of your opponent's creatures that you just really don't want around. So we're going to add 2 copies of this at 15 cents a piece. And we have enough money to buy an Elder Dinosaur. We're going to add Zatalpa to the deck. This is a 4/8, flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible, $1.50. We're going to add this to the deck. And last up is Burning Sun's Avatar. This is a 6/6 dinosaur. When it comes into play, it deals 3 damage to target opponent and 3 damage to target creature. So the original deck came with 1 copy of this card, and we're going to bring it on over to the new deck. And that is it for today's episode. Hopefully that gave you a few ideas. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and we will see you next time.